Day 86. Time is flying, man. I can't believe I've done this many videos. Look, if you're new to this is the journey of 0 to 1 billion. Just basically me documenting myself building my business. And the business model is LBOs, leverage buyouts. We're basically buying out businesses using leverage and debt, etc. Okay, where do I start? So I usually just talk about what happened in my day and how my business is progressing and stuff like that. So right now I have a job and I'm building my business, and in my job there's it's like a monopoly in the industry I work in. It's called Mohawk. Mohawk, guys, is one of those companies that just buys up everything, LBOs, leverage buyouts. And I know this, right? I've seen this so many times, and I bring it up on these videos so many times. But today I actually brought it up to one of my coworkers, and I wanted to see what he thought about it. And I was like, well, we were talking about what this person's parent did for a living, and he kind of like told me, but like he didn't like tell me exactly what he does. And then he told me about, he was like, oh, he works for this company. You probably don't know it. It's dude, I hate airing out my dirty laundry. You know the expression, like talking about these key details of conversations and stuff. Like, I'm just not gonna say names, so I think it'll be fine. Anyways, he was talking about, my dad works for this company. It's called Forvis. And I was like, oh, I know Forvis. He was like shocked that I know Forvis. Guys, Forvis is a really big accounting firm. They're like top 8 in the whole country, therefore like the whole world. One of the biggest accounting firms in the world. It's called Forvis. And I know about Forvis because I was doing cold calls to Forvis. We were trying to make the accounting firms work for us on a success fee basis, blah, blah, blah. And, by speaking to so many partners, I found out that Forvis merged with BDK, I think it was. Like all these accounting firms, they just merged together. And it's literally like the game of like fish. Like they eat one fish and they get bigger, and then it eats another fish and it gets bigger. It's literally the same thing. And all these companies do it. I swear to God, I swear they all do the same thing. I see it so much. And it's like I was so blind to it before, but like once you like realize it, you see it everywhere. These companies are merging, not paying full cash for the business themselves, guys. You got to understand that. That's the part that I would have never known myself. Like, it's like that key detail. These people are buying out businesses without their own money. They're all doing it. It's so insane. They're using banks, and then they're using either money that they raise, or they'll do like a seller note. And you could do seller notes all the way up to like $100 million. It's so insane. It's so crazy. They all do it. It's so crazy. Mohawk owns every single brand in that industry. So even if you don't want to buy Mohawk, you want to buy Revwood, Deltile. You could go from different angles, but boom, all the money, it filters back up to Mohawk. It's insane. It's so insane. And in the accounting world, you want to go BKD, you want to go this other 10 mergers that they did, all these different companies, it all goes back to Forvis. You want to, you don't want to buy Gatorade. You want to buy, I think, Celsius or whatever. Bro, or you want to buy Oreos or whatever. It's all the same company, like filters up. There's this expression where it talks about if you take if you take all the money that exists in the world today and you split it equally amongst people, it would all filter back to the same people's hands anyways. So what's the differentiation? Like, why is that? Even if you split the money equally, it won't actually be in everyone's hands equally. It's because of this, the mindset, the way you think about it. And it's interesting because, man, I had so much personal shit going down in my life today. And it's interesting because I had some I had someone today telling me like, dude, you need to fix your mindset. Like me, like I need to fix my mindset. And you know, maybe they're right. Let me think about it. Let me think about this. Should I fix my what do you mean by that? Why do you say that? Honestly, the reason didn't really make sense, but I respect it. It depends who gives you that advice, you know what I mean? Certain people could say certain things to you guys. It's the truth. Um Today I gotta admit, I didn't do a lot of offense. But I so far have 3 interested sellers that are actually interested, and then I have like I think 16 other people that said yes to me. But some of them have like smaller businesses. Some of them are like the right size business, but like they don't seem super motivated. But I'm like sitting in between right now, like the limbo. Um, I spoke with one of the 3 very interested sellers today, and I sent them like an NDA so they could send me their tax returns, etc., and like get the ball rolling on putting an LOI, right? And he just told me that my accountant didn't get or my lawyer didn't get back to me. He has to check over the NDA and he'll let me know and we'll speak tomorrow. So speak to him tomorrow. I did do cold calls today. I just did it was very little, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It was probably like 10 to 20 cold calls. It's very minimal amount. Um, Reason B, I think I woke up closer to like 8ish today. I usually wake up at 7. But that 1 hour makes an insane difference. I swear. If you wake up at 7 versus 8, it's a huge difference because not only did it, I mean, not only did it make a difference what time I woke up, because I make my cold calls in the mornings, right? But it also makes a difference just because like you get the ball rolling and today, I'm not gonna lie, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe today in the morning I was kind of like flustered. Like there's multiple things I had to do and like I had slippage. I had to print out NDAs, I had to sign it, and I had to email the guy all in the morning. And the email kind of takes me long, and I scanned the NDA with my signature and everything. And I just printed extra NDAs so I don't have to keep going through that every single time. But that took me a minute. But the thing is, if I woke up just an hour earlier, I could have sent that email, done the NDA, and still had extra time to cold call, like at least an hour. And so after that time, I have to do defense. Like I have a job that I do, and I'm working in sales. Now I actually really like this job. Like I don't know how the hell I found it. It's a super crazy story of its own. Um, but since I'm still new in this job, like I haven't even been there for a month. Like my whole schedule is all like effed up, and I'm like switching between different branches. So like it's kind of hard for me to find time like in between to do the cold calls. Like I luckily found enough time to call the guy back today. So I'm having like a timing issue and just like these like weird issues of like, just like timing. And I'm so glad that yesterday I worked out because today I was even busier than yesterday. So like I didn't work out today. I think it was the first time this week. I need to check my schedule and see which days I worked out and which days I didn't. Um, but another thing, like I'm just glad I work out at home, so I could always get a workout in, even if I just have 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I could still get it in if I have a gym at home. So I got off today after work about like 5ish or 5 to 6, somewhere between that. And then I got back home and I just like unwinded, as in like I changed my clothes, I used the bathroom, uh, I ate, and after work we had like the sales meeting for like all the branches together. They came together, we had a meeting, and they were doing like a secret Santa thing. It was just like a meeting, and like I got to meet like the owners of the company. This is like a decent sized company. I don't want to give too much details about like everything going on really. Like, I don't want to mention names and what someone told me. 'Cause if they see this, it's gonna be weird. Maybe I just shouldn't do that. But I bought this jacket today. Um, I was going to this meeting, like this like sales meeting, and there's like all the owners there, and I don't want to show up in like a three-piece suit, like full like all out, and like I'm gonna look like I'm the boss when I go there, because I know for a fact they're not gonna dress up as much as I am. I know that 1000%, and I was right. You know, they didn't, which is completely normal. Like a lot of CEOs and big time people, they don't dress up anymore. That's just out of style. If I wanted to do that, I would have done that, but I know like I understand the concept of don't outshine the master. And I don't want to seem like I'm the boss and like seem like I'm trying to top them, you know? Cuz at the end of the day they're still a boss, and at the end of the day like they have more leverage than me on that table, you know? They have more leverage in that negotiation, so I got to play my cards right. So, I was like, okay, I want to dress up in a button-up shirt, but like it's cold and like I need to wear something over it. So I've seen this jacket before. I bought this jacket before the meeting, and it was on sale today. Blah blah blah. My whole case going on right now with the lawyers and everything. You know, I need to save up every single dollar I could get, but bro, I'll spend money on these kind of things. Like I could wear this jacket for a while, for years. So I don't. It's fine. Um, the meeting happened, and then I had like a bunch of crazy personal stuff going on. And this is something that like I never talk about, but I'll bring it up today, man. I guess doing this like almost 90 days, you just kind of like break down. And it's almost like your personal life just becomes like the same as like the internet life, which is like which is the reason why I'm glad like I'm not blowing up, you know. Um, but I mean this in the most respectful way, right? Because I'm talking about my dad right now. Man, my family's helping me so much with my case going on. It's crazy. It's so insane. But my dad really wants me to go back to school. He really does. Like I really don't. I really don't want to. And I could talk about this subject for forever, man. I really can. I don't see the point in it. I think I'm young enough to where I could still do mistakes. Like, oh, like if not going to school is a mistake, like I'm willing to deal with the consequences and just deal with it right now. But he really wants me to go back to school, and like I don't want to make him disappointed. It reminds me so much of what Dan Pena talks about, I swear to God. It's like that man like predicts the future. And I've seen someone's comment, I've seen a couple comments about people saying like, dude, like this guy's a scammer, blah blah. Like Dan Pena is not a scammer, bro. Verified, guys, verified. He built Great Western Resources, and he sold his stake back in the 80s in the worst economy in American history. After the 30s, obviously, the Great Depression. But the 80s was a bad time as well. And he built a business and sold his stake in the business for $450 million confirmed. Like it's verified. It's very well known, and it's like it's public. Like it was a public company. Like you could find this information publicly on the internet. Like this dude has insane money. How are you gonna call him a scammer? That doesn't even make sense. I don't get it. A scammer would be someone who sells a course that doesn't actually like do anything and actually makes money off the course and gets rich off of the course and not what he actually preaches. That's not what Dan Pena does. In fact, if you're so mad about him selling a course, why would you be so mad if I never even paid for his course? Isn't that crazy? I never paid for any of those kind of courses. Listen, I paid for courses in the past, but I understand like that's not what it takes to succeed. It doesn't come down to a course. You could get any kind of course for free, guys. Like I'm not paying for courses. I'm getting this knowledge for free. He literally gives the most insane knowledge out there for free. And I'm circling back to my point. He preaches about family, and he's a very like, he has a ruthless mindset when it comes to everything, really. But when it comes to family, he's like, dude, just cut off your family. Like, you have to cut off your family to be successful. That's his ideology. That's what he thinks. And that's not something I did, right? I still deal with my family very heavily. And that's probably something Dan Penny wouldn't agree with, and he'd look at me a certain way because of it, and whatever, right? We disagree on that fact. But today, talking to my dad, the stuff Dan was talking about, it just like was in my face today, I swear to God. It's like my father gives me advice for obviously what he thinks is the best for me. I understand that, and I respect him for that. But I also understand that if I take his advice, I'm basically setting a path, and I'm following the path that will make me like him. And there's nothing wrong with my father, right? He did very well for himself, whatever. Like, he has a great life. I'm not dissing him. I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful about him, but I don't want to live like that. Like, his way of living, like, dude, I don't want to be like that. See, I want to be great. And going to school, I don't believe that will make me great. I'm looking at deals right now. The dude makes, like, I'm looking at buying these businesses that make $100,000 a month. I'm looking to buy these businesses. Multiple different businesses. You can buy multiple different businesses. You can make it happen, man, without any of your money. Like, I hear this all the time, like, go to school, work a job, save money, and then build a business. Like, how much money am I going to save? I've talked about this with Omar, man. The video I made with Omar. How much am I going to save? $100,000 to start my own business? You can't focus on two things at the same time. If you have a backup plan, that becomes your main plan. I mean, I truly believe that 100%. And shit, I'm not ready to tap out. I'm not ready to concede for what I really want with my life. I go to school and all. You know what's crazy is the other day I was at this business because of the sales job I have. We were looking at a job site, and it was actually a business. It was like, I forget what the business is called, but it was like this IT company. Some kind of software technology for like the insurance benefits, something like that. Super boring concept, right? And we walk into this office, and it's huge. It's like the whole entire second floor of the whole building. It's like probably like maybe 10,000 square feet, something like that. Very big. And there's a bunch of cubicles and offices, and I just step in there, and it's like my soul just like left my body. It's like death. I swear to God. It's almost scary looking at that. I swear. Even if I had a degree, bro, I'd still do a sales job, because sitting on that cubicle, I would literally, I'm waiting for death at that point. It reminds me kind of the suburbs, if I'm not lying. Like, that's truly what I think. It reminds me of the suburbs. When you live in the suburbs, you get a family, just settle down. You're like waiting to die almost. There's nothing. I'm sure like one day, like, I'll love the suburbs, but young people like the city. Like, you want to feel like that life. You know what I mean? Like, life around you. You don't want to live in a city where it's made for cars. You want to live in a city where it's made for humans to walk around, where there's actually life. You see people walking around and stuff. Because that's the way life should be, man. Not everyone should be cocooned. Everyone should be like humans, not robotic. Like, obviously, man, like, life has always been like that, like, alive, not dead. But yeah, going to school, I could talk about that forever, man. But I could have done, man, how could I improve my day? So I could have done more cold emails. I don't know, dude. My day today was packed. And what I'm gonna start doing is I still have to set up my Calendly. So I just like send a link, and people could just schedule a time to talk to me based off of that. And I did that today, actually, but it's kind of hard to figure out my schedule. Like, I'll probably have to adjust it, but yeah, man, a lot of things going on.